What is up?
We're coming to you live with our main man, the one and only Stan Piper, Stanley Ray Piper. We love this guy. He's our fantastic bass player, dear friend, amazing musician.
That's right. We want to do this special feature where we can kind of highlight the different people behind the scenes of the Equinox Orchestra, because you know Jeremy and me, but you don't know the guys well that are behind us. And they're the ones that really have the stories.
They're the ones that are way cooler than me.
They're the ones that can have all the dirt on us and could ruin our careers.
Which would be so easy. Stan would be at the front of the line.
That's right. So this is called Who is the Fabulous Equinox Orchestra? And today we're introducing you to the one and only Stan Piper. Stan,
say hello to America, Stan.
Hello, America. We have officially made it to the bottom of the group.
is this it?
Actually, you're at the top, friend. You're
well,
the top.
No, technically he is the bottom because he plays
the
bass and he does the upright and does the electric. And all things cool. So, Stan, tell us where you. First of all, where are you coming live from? Where are you talking from?
We are Jax Beach, Florida.
Good grief!
Where there is no pandemic, because when you go out my door, it's like
nothing
everything
but beauty,
is
huh?
It's all gorgeous.
And you're just down the road from the beach, aren't you?
Yes, and beaches are officially open.
That's crazy.
Well, good for you, man.
Normal hours, yeah, it's great.
They say that the open ocean air and the sunlight are good for killing germs, so maybe that'll be a good thing.
Right. Even though it was chilly last night, which was nice.
Hold up your coffee cup there. Let everybody see what does that say? Coffee.
That's science. See, folks, that's science. We're bringing you science right there.
It worked.
Start. Why don't you start by telling us where you're from?
Well, I grew up outside Chicago, Algonquin. I was born in Evanston. I grew up in the burbs from Chicago. I ate Polish sausage, and I drank soda pops all day.
It's awesome. We're actually talking to a guy in Chicago about coming back on our fall tour in September. So we're making a stop by your old stomping grounds. But you moved to Jax at some point in your studies, right?
I thought at some point you spent some time in Vermont, right? Or somewhere up there, right?
My dad grew up in Vermont, but my dad's been in Florida, in Jacksonville, since '86.
Okay.
I grew up in Illinois. I finished high school. And I made it to Florida moved in '99. So I've been here where I'm at since '99.
And your dad is awesome. We're a fan of him. He goes by the name of Homie. He's awesome. He's
self-titled. He called himself Homie, so we went with that.
I love it. Well, I remember he took a trip all the way to Halifax, Nova Scotia with us on one of our big trips. We met him at the Canadian border or something like that. It was something crazy.
We dropped him off at the border, which was hilarious.
Just dropped him off with his bags.
He walked into the woods.
Walked out of the woods with a roller bag. Yeah,
that's hilarious.
And he had his father's passport. I don't know why, but they must have just thought, "What in the world is this guy doing?" He had the wrong. He had his. Made it through.
So, all right, Stan, tell the world about kind of how you came to be a bass player and who your influences are, all that kind of good stuff.
Yeah. Well, I was very lucky. I had a piano teacher in my neighborhood. When my mom kind of forced me to do it, but I'm very grateful for that. We fought over practicing and all that stuff.
Of course.
But Mrs. Dorfield was in my neighborhood, and that was like I was in grade school or something, and that was like the first. I remember mentioning to my mom, like, "Hey, I'd like to play something." Next day, piano lessons. Boom, here we go.
There you go. Thank God for Mom. Nancy.
Absolutely. And then, middle school, I had an electric bass, was playing Metallica. That was the first phase. And then high school, that morphed into the Grateful Dead and Fish and stuff like that. And those guys really opened me up to everything, And then college, I had an upright through high school, but didn't really take it seriously. And college was when then we started taking that a little more seriously, especially when I had a really nice one. And I still have.
Professional bass. Well, I remember the first gig we had with you. Do you remember much about that day? It was years ago. I don't know how many years. I mean, it's probably been every bit of 10 years at least, right?
Yeah, like I said, Facebook popped up and shared the memory, and I think it said 9 years.
Wow.
I know it was Taylor Roberts and Rudabuski, and I couldn't remember where.
You can explain. Mark Rodabow is.
Everybody calls it. Well, we call him Rudabuski for lack of the ability to pronounce his last name properly. And maybe was it Lofgren? I don't know if it was Lofgren or somebody else on piano. But
Taylor. I don't know if there was piano.
Oh, that's right. There was no piano. That's right. It was like some little bitty job. I remember you had long hair and you had black
the
shoes
longest it's been
since
in quite
then.
a while.
Well, it was long. And I
Quarantine.
remember you showed up with these black shoes with the white wingtips. You remember that? I think there's a story.
I don't think I have those anymore. I have a funny story about that with a guy named Lester Merle, because that was the first tuxedo gig I ever did. And I rolled up with those. Were the only shoes I had because they were wingtips. That was the first thing out of his mouth. Oh my God, look at these shoes.
He's like,
That's ain't gonna work.
And he fired me on that one too.
oh, nice. That's how you know that's how you know you're doing it right, when you get fired from a job.
Well, that may have been your first. What was your most memorable Equinox gig that to date that you have in your mind?
I was thinking about Huntsville when we went out there, and I know it was Rick and Marlon. I think Nick Rose was on it,
Yes.
piano.
Yes.
And we played at that small theater, and I even remember this. Jeremy had some ridiculous pair of red shoes and a coat. And there's a video of you doing a silly dance somewhere. With that.
It was the Merrimack. It was
Yes.
the Merrimack in Huntsville, Alabama.
I remember that. And we went to
But there's also a picture of all of us at the planetarium with the solar system behind us, and
Right.
the whole time, well, we all just went to the outer rim of the universe, and that was
went to the
that was the
outer rim trip. That's what that was, the outer rim gig.
we did
That was
2
great.
nights at that place. I remember that. And somehow we made ourselves made our way over to this shop, and I bought these red wingtips with
God.
white. I was like, these are so obnoxious. And I think I finally got rid of them, but I only wore them on that gig because I had like a red pocket square or something.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I remember putting them on at halftime. Like I came out with normal shoes on, and we took an intermission. I came back out with these asinine shoes.
That was the gig where for the first time we realized that everybody could play different instruments. And in the middle of the show, everybody switched. Like you started playing drums, didn't you, Stan? And
And we had Richard Sherrington.
Richard Sherrington was playing
there.
He was playing trombone, but he went over to the piano. We had everybody in the band switched except for Goober and me and Goober. We stood in the middle, and it was an awesome part of the bit. It was like a bit in the show. It's like they were playing this tune, and then one guy got up, and then everybody else got up, and then before the end of it, everybody was playing, and it sounded just as good. That was what's so remarkable about you guys.
It's a good memory, Stan. Thanks for bringing that up.
Hey, I got it for the bass too, because when I was in grade school, they had a day where they let you pick an instrument, and I wasn't at like an art school or anything. But they let you pick 2 instruments, and I went and tried trumpet, and the guy handed me the horn, and I couldn't make one noise out of it to save my life. Then the next room I went in was the bass room, and the bass was on its back, and there were 2 kids already there just bowing the low string, and it was that was it right there. I went, oh, I'll take that.
I can do that.
I was like 5th grade. I can remember my bus teacher or my bus driver having to carry the thing home. They gave me a bass. They just gave me it.
That's fantastic.
That's how I got one. It kind of stuck.
Oh, man. Well, tell America, outside of playing the bass, what's a passion, hobby? What's something you love doing that's not musically related?
Well, this is a good time to cue the Duke.
Yes,
Oh,
cue the Duke.
so.
Call him.
Not the coffee cup, but the other Duke. Oh, he's got to go.
Come on, Duke. Come on.
Oh, yeah. You're going to love this, man.
This is going to be great, folks.
This is it. Watch.
You've seen videos of Tucker. Well, how about Duke Silver?
Look at him. Look at dude. Now he's not that old. He's huge. Well, you got him. He was tiny.
Almost 2. He's almost 2.
Good grief, man. He's
gosh.
beautiful. Is he a golden? Is that what he is?
He's all golden.
Man,
Gorgeous.
He
All
is
golden man.
pretty good dog.
Well, that's a pretty good hobby, man.
He's been loving quarantine because he hasn't been by himself for more than an hour, I think, of this whole thing.
he's had to get lots of quality stand time.
This is the life
yeah.
here. I can do quarantine all day long.
We take him everywhere, and he's been pretty awesome. Also, we have a 72 Volkswagen Beetle. That's something lately I've been obsessed with because I want to redo the interior, and I'm going to start working on it. And
That's awesome. Where are you keeping that?
fits in the perfect. You know, we took him for a ride the other day. He hops in there. It's no problem.
Dude, that's amazing.
Nice. That is cool.
When you say we, who are you talking about? Introduce the world.
Oh, well, well, that would be Theo, my significant other.
Yes, Miss Theo, of course.
Yes, she's great. And I know your old man lives down the street too, doesn't he?
And he's right down the street. And he bought the Bug in Maine. The Bug still has a Maine license plate on it, and it's
Wow.
been painted green. It's a forest green color, so
Nice.
you definitely you can't sneak around on that thing.
You can't. I have kind
No,
of.
and a golden. The car, people look at the car and then they see the Duke. and
Oh, yeah, it's all.
It's a
forget it.
win-win. Well, I have a heavy memory here I'm going to bring up about you, Stan, and I think it speaks to your character a lot, and I know you probably remember this. I'll make this story short, but I remember one fateful day, phone rang, and on the other end of it was Greg Allman calling me, and I was like,
oh, man, yeah.
He said, Jeremy, this is Greg Allman, and I was just kind of froze. I was like, you mean the Greg Allman? He started laughing, and I said, Mr. Allman, what in the world can I do for you? He's like, well, I'm in Savannah. I got a recording session. There's a girl on my label, a jazz saxophonist, and we're doing a song together. And I don't know any musicians in Savannah because he made his home in Richmond Hill, just about 30 miles down the road from Savannah. And he said, I need a bass player to do the session tomorrow. I don't really know when it's going to happen tomorrow. I don't know what time. I don't know all the details. But I need a bass player, and they tell me that you will know someone. And I said, well, I absolutely do, and I would love to get you a bass player. Are you looking for like a rock and roll dude, or an upright guy, or a P-bass guy? He's like, I need a P-bass guy. And I said, I got your man. I got your man completely. And I said, what time do I need to tell him to be at the studio? So I hung up the phone and immediately talked to you. And I remember being like this. I know that I called you. You were obviously excited about doing the job, but I remember at the time you were pretty much serving as a primary caregiver for your grandfather, who's
well, no, I remember it exactly because my grandpa, he was already in hospice, and it was a hard decision, but it wasn't because I know I couldn't do it. It was I had my family, but that was tough. It was like, hey, here's a gig with Greg Allman. Nope, sorry, I can't do it.
I remember that, dude. I remember you're right. It was an easy one for you because you chose to stay at home and pass this legendary opportunity. And I think your precious grandfather passed away like the next day, right? It was right.
Yeah, it wouldn't happen and then I heard that session went, that's something where he's not ready till 3 a.m. type of thing or something where
exactly
hanging out all. It had been a different circumstance, I would have been there for sure. But
sure. Well, it speaks to your character in two ways. The fact that we're pretty much serving as a primary caregiver for your grandfather, but then you passed this epic job, which really just kind of, I knew you were a great dude before that, but I really, it really kind of shined through there for sure. That was a heck of an opportunity.
Yeah, people who know Stan may not know. Stan's got a big old heart. He's got a big old tender heart, and he looks like a tough guy, but he's not.
Well, and I'll tell you this too, Stan. I remember when we first added Stan to the band, he had an immediate effect. I mean, he could drive the bus, so to speak, musically, set up tunes, start tunes, and I never really played with a bass player who played in such a way, in like a leadership role, the way Stan played. So we got a few guys that kind of stand around in the wings that are precious friends as well that we use when Stan can't make it, but Stan's always our number one guy. And
yes. And he also teaches us how to do man maker. He taught us how to do man maker.
Oh, man.
Which I haven't done enough. I need to get back on it.
Dude, I've been doing man makers every day because of you. I'm like, I got to keep saying.
I've been doing push-ups, not man makers. So why don't you tell everybody what a man maker is?
A man maker is you got weights in your hands, you do one push-up, you do a row, you do another push-up, you do another row, you do another push-up, you get up, and it's one. So one time is 3 push-ups.
And you press over your head too, right?
You press over your head, right?
Yeah, and you put it over your head.
So
and I learned that on a cruise ship gig because I made buddies with the Australian who taught like the weight training classes and stuff. And these guys were doing it with like 40-pound weights. I mean, I couldn't keep up at all, but
that's crazy.
It was fun.
If you can imagine, America, the picture of an 11-piece big band in a 45-foot tour bus driving around America, a 20,000-mile tour, and every night after the gig was over, a lot of times the bus would stay at the back of the theater, and the bus driver would know how long it's going to take to get to where we got to go. So we may be parked until like 3 a.m, and then the driver would sleep, and then we drive to the next destination. We wake up in the town. But after the gig, we'd all be changed clothes. We'd load our stuff up, and then Stan would be leading the charge. A bunch of dorky music guys out behind about to puke, but they're trying to do man makers keep up with Stan.
That's the best part about the tour. It's like I get in better shape on something like that. If I'm at home, I have too many distractions.
I hear you. Well, Stan, we appreciate you, buddy. Thanks so much, man.
Yeah, dude. Thanks for making time for. We love you, buddy. Don't ever want to leave the house without you.
That's right. America, this is Stan Piper.
we'll see you Sunday, right?
Yeah, you will, buddy. We'll see you then, pal.
All right, brother. Thank you.
All right.
Bye, man.
See you, man.
Bye.
Bye-bye.